Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another scene set in the living world of darkness. The Changeling venue.
The New Hope.
The New Hope. As the player briefly blanks. On this final late winter's day, the knocker commoner, known as Broker Edomworks, also known as Roy Deckard to the mortal populace, has decided to he's been attempting to sell his wares, in particularly two very significant wares. His latest in heavy firearm manufacturing, a rifle that he refers to as the Peacekeeper, and a shotgun that a few changelings might be familiar with, known as the Negotiator. Weapons of highly meticulous design, incorporating modular brass components and various alloys, with a miniature, a tiny miniature turbine embedded into the design, to power not only the shells of the rounds of weapons via using compressed steam, but also to act as effectively a tiny power core that imbues various rounds with a hint of burning high temperature energy, boiling, at the very least, very hot to the touch, even about half a minute after it's fired, generally cauterizes wounds. And he has been advertising these weapons across Goblin Town and across the Bronx, but very much on the down low. Terry's been implementing measures to prevent open advertising of his wares in a part of town where weapons are not exactly desired to be in the hands of the commoners, at least. Not at least the nobility disagree with such notions. But the broker has finally found himself with a buyer, a member of House Gwydion, an advisor to the Baron of Manhattan, who has requested his presence within the local freehold so that maybe they might be able to conduct business. And yes, a broker with two suitcases, two somewhat heavy suitcases, given what they contain, and the fact that they are, how to say, rather dense and metallic. Thick metallic suitcases with bolted steel. Used to shield the weapons from any would-be damage, the elements, and to make it harder to open if they are in fact stolen. Yes, Gwydion Works heads down to Manhattan, down the economic capital of the world, to take a piece of that economic pie for himself.
The Broker's empire, the empire of manufacture is slowly building, but there are issues. When he finds himself in front of the art gallery that belongs to Baroness Anne Sylvia, and when he enters, his mind is full of the issues that's caused by the Duchy of Jersey, or County of Jersey. They close the borders, and it's very hard to find raw materials. This investment that he can make right now can at least help him a lot to buy the things that he needs. The doors of the freehold is open to him. The guards doesn't even guards like they make a basic search, but like not a crazy search. They know Broker a bit. Like maybe some words were given to him. The freehold is dark, but there's a room full of light, and he's moved there slowly. When he does, he sees the Lord. His name is Sir Portios. Ep Gwydion, advisor in Manhattan, given by the Order of the Flaming Falcon. His room is extremely different than everything else in the freehold, full of light. He keeps his clothes in light colors, while everyone else has dark colors. I am really sorry. Broker is not unseelie, right? He is seelie.
Yeah, he is a seelie. He doesn't really advertise it one way or the other. It's something that doesn't really. He's like, buy from me because I'm seelie, or I'm a tolerant seelie. Unseelie should buy from me. He doesn't really advertise it too much. Yeah, maybe word's gotten around, but it's not something he openly talks about.
He doesn't feel anything weird off from this guy. When he sees him, like he gets a nod. There is a squire in the room. You see that they carry the symbols of House Gwydion, and in the other badge they have like the symbol of Order of the Flaming Falcon. Mr. Broker, Mr. Edenworks.
Sir Portios, he bows in respect to the noble.
The noble actually quite enjoys that he bows. He says, "I see that you been educated. It is hard to find educated people in this land."
I thank you, sir. Well, I do try my best to maintain good business and relations. After all, disrespectful businessman is a very poor businessman.
He smiles when he says it. Other than the other Gwydions he met, this guy looks a bit warm and nice. He extends a hand to Broker, to shake it with both hands. Please, and I have actually heard a lot about your wares, I should say, or do you call them something else? Art, he says with a smile.
A broker smiles and says, "Where's products art? I do not mind what people label my works as, so long as they are given due respect. I must say, I do take a mote of pride in them."
Then I will respect your desire, or I will respect your work and call them art. He kind of like looks at his watch. Please sit and feel yourself comfortable. My squire will ask for food if you want to drink or eat any.
Of course, thank you very much. He'll head over to the seat, to his designated seating area, and he will again he'll ask the squire for just some vanilla tea with some milk and sugar.
The food or the drinks will come. There's apples, and he will try to open some chit-chat. Just a second.
The music in this room is lovely.
Yeah, my mom is being my mom. But
the voice is like, "Mom!"
The person, like when the food has arrived, have you, the guy says, have you met with Hollis Mason?
Broker thinks on the name. Has he heard of it?
It's the representative of the Trade Federation. Like, they have this like weird council, and he has been chosen as a leader.
No, that does cause a car crash in Broker's mind, because he's been warned by Long Walk who he should and should not be doing business with. So the mere mention of this name causes him to halt for a moment, and actually causes him to consider, oh my god, is this one of those guys?
He is not working with the Trade Federation at all. House Gwydion has a lot of ties with the Trade Federation. They support Trade Federation. He doesn't seem malicious the way he asked the question.
No, it's not. No, it's not like something he immediately begins figuring out. I think it would take like a bit of digging to see how in deep this guy is with the Trade Federation.
The reason I asked this question, Mr. Edenworks, is that he told me that he's interested in meeting with you.
Fascinating. I'm honestly, I must say, I'm quite surprised, given that we are from competing backgrounds. But I suppose
I have been experienced in the trading area. I have helped the the race trade in Boston and Jersey. It is extremely weird experience in my opinion. The reason is it's that they want to set standards, but then some can say the standards is for those people who wants to be past, those people who wants to be the second. I had like five codes. It's very weird. I would like to share it to you if you wish. It's just something I go with for when I do business, and he kind of looks like very if you want me to.
Of course.
It's one is that the first, never trust your own memory. Second is the first, control, and then second, progress. As in, when he says control, is like the checking the business you do.
So it's 1, never trust your memory. 2, control. 3, progress.
And then to control, like first control, then progress.
So never trust your memory.
Mm-hmm.
Control.
The third is the cheating, like the cheating of the business is the cheat codes of the business is honesty.
Cheat codes of business is honesty.
Basically, like when you play a game, you write cheat codes to be the best, right? And he says, in trade, a cheat code is honesty. So like you should be honest what you do in the business that you do.
Mm-hmm.
He says, the fourth is your reputation is more important than your gainings. And the fifth is never sell something that you won't use to anyone else.
Don't sell anything. Don't sell anything you wouldn't
use to anything else. Like if it's like too bad for me, why the fuck I should, like, he basically says like sell the things that you would like to buy, that kind of shit.
And to control progress. Cheat codes of business is honesty. Your reputation is more important than your earnings. And don't sell anything you wouldn't use. Got it. Yeah. Broker responds sort of sounds like a very straightforward and reputable code.
Thank you. May I see the guns, please? I know my house is known with mastery of martial arts. I'm fascinated with guns from my childhood. Therefore, while I have the education of using a sword, I prefer guns and weapons of long range.
So, well, of course. Let me just set them up for you. They are modular in design, so I'll just need a moment to render them operable. And he takes his 2 cases. He inputs the code to the suitcases so he can lock them. And when they're opened, Supportius sees the various parts of the gun that are actually not attached. And what Broker begins doing is he basically just begins snapping and clicking them into place. The bulk of the gun is intact, like the barrel and the pump. It's not a pump; it's automatic actually, so it's not true. I should say the turbine is connected to the barrel. The shotgun's only made up of like 4 or 5 pieces at most, probably not even that, probably like 3 or 4. The rifle is made up of about 7 to 8, mainly because it has a scope, and is a bit larger than the shotgun. The shotgun's a bit meatier to hold, but it's much shorter. You could kind of strap it on your back a lot more easily. The rifle barrel, I'll just show you this is the shotgun, so it's kind of, you know, it's not that much larger than a really big pistol, but it's fairly meaty.
It's a shotgun like made like a sawn-off shotgun, but it has
it's a sawn-off shotgun. Yeah, basically, it's kind of basically in its length and in general size.
Does it has like more ammunition?
Oh yeah. You can
8, right?
Yeah, it's an automatic. It has as you can see in the picture, it basically basically works a bit like a revolver in that the rounds cycle, but instead of putting in each individual bullet, what you do is you just attach the drum at the bottom, a bit like a Tommy gun. You just attach the drum and then you put in another drum, and then just in front of the drum, bolted to the barrel and the mechanism that keeps the drum magazine in place is the tiny turbine, which powers these sort of superheated rounds, these sort of effectively tracer rounds.
He kind of like looks surprised how good they look and how nice they are.
The rifle is the rifle looks a bit more ornate. The shotgun looks slightly more utilitarian, but still obviously looks very nice. Kind of, you know, definitely fit for a noble. But this one has because the barrel's so long, there's definitely been some sort of liberties taken with aesthetic design. It can be seen that the various and the rifles that the various the steam powered so guns obviously have like use ignition to cause the round to shoot out. This actually basically uses this is pneumatic instead, so it doesn't use that. It basically uses compressed air and gas and steam. And the cabling is a lot more complex than it is on the shotgun. But it's been again, like the cabling's kind of been used to kind of show off this sort of very artistic, very aesthetically pleasing looking rifle with the actual manticore's head that is expressed in the overlay just beneath the barrel, and the horns. Yeah, with the horns acting as iron sights, basically.
Very nice.
Yeah.
The noble actually says one thing. He doesn't even touch the guns, and he says, like, your reputation precedes you, Mr. Edenworks. I have one request, if it's no such big deal, because I will buy these guns immediately. I wish to close the place. Like maybe we can build a wall towards the mechanism that you put here. The reason I ask this is I'm a Gwydion, and there may be times where I need to defend myself. If people are able to see the mechanism, they can attack towards there and put me at a disadvantage, as I will not be able to use my gun again. Would that be a problem for you?
I could work to ensure that the more intricate parts of the weapon are concealed, yes. Is he talking about the shotgun or the rifle? Because the shotgun is actually fairly well covered.
Yeah, the shotgun is well covered. He's talking about the one that you have on the photo, which is the sniper.
I can fit some light plating around the cabling to ensure that none of the none of it is damaged in the midst of combat, should you find yourself in such a position.
Thank you. 24 dross for the shotgun, and 25 because I asked for additional additional requests. Would that be acceptable?
According to brokers' mathematics, it very much sounds like the standard price, the sort of average he was looking to hit. So he'll say, it sounds more than acceptable. Thank you very much.
Is there any payment ways you work around, or you only accept cash and on point?
Broker thinks, because this isn't actually something we've talked about, I think insofar, whenever brokers sold off one of these masterworks, he's generally received the cash directly, not because he asked for it, just because that's what the person did. And Joss can't be digitalized into some sort of credit card system, so...
Contracts.
Contracts?
The art contract. It binds the individual, but it's up to you. You know, like that is something that you can offer. Like if you contract, we can split the money, blah blah blah. That kind of shit. It's up to you. I'm just like, because you have finance tree, I think you would have this idea anyway.
Yeah. I think broker's not too picky about how he obtains the money, so long as he receives it. So long as he receives it within, like, you know, it's the whatever, the faster payment the better, basically. So he will say, if you have the dross immediately available, then that would be the preferable form of payment. But if you'd like to work out a simple contract to ensure that the payment is delivered at regular intervals, that is also perfectly reasonable.
The reason I ask for such thing is that the issue is not the money. Issue is that the Manhattan is having hard times. I think you know that there is the issue of nobles not paying taxes. That is criticized by commoners. The last raise of the tax has put some individuals in problem. The reason I ask is that in the next month, if some individuals can pay, I would like to have some cash on me that I can lend them, and that's the only reason I ask. I'm willing to do the contract art with you to sign a understanding that I will pay half of the money. I will pay the 25 for us from now and 24 later, and then actually I will pay them 11 till the next month, or is there a like, or would you request earlier?
Uh, hmm. We could
I mean,
arrange the contract so that the first 24 is paid up front and the final 25 could be paid by the end of next month, if that suits your needs.
the end of this month or the next month?
End of next month, because he's basically saying like taxes, like he was saying like next month or something I might run into issues, so that's why. I mean, if he says
Roll me wits finance.
yeah, might be getting slightly confused.
It's completely okay. I will explain everything.
So I actually have good dice for this.
I
What's it called?
do think that you have.
This business, glorious business, Goblin Town. It's the same name because fuck it. I get only 2 successes.
Even with 2 successes, you know that the next period of the tax payment ends in the 7th. So you can say like, you can pay me at the 8th.
Yeah. Broker. 8th of March, right? Oh no, it's 8th of March because it's 11th of February. So, duh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll say. Oh, we could arrange for the payment to be made the day after taxes are due, the 8th of 3rd.
And if I find myself in an issue, as in not having the money, but basically dead, he says with a smile because, and then he adds, it's just being a noble is dangerous. The rest of the money will be paid by the order of the Flaming Falcon immediately. I will put it onto my will.
The gesture is most appreciated, and I shall make sure to note it. I very much hope that my armaments do grant you safety these days. It is, as you say, it is Manhattan and the county finds itself in has found itself in a precarious situation in the past few months.
He nods. Squire will give you a case, it has 24 dross inside of it, 25 dross inside of it.
How is the dross represented? Like, how is this guy's dross kind of manifest?
I'm gonna say it's a signature. It's a very nicely built falcon. Actually, no, it's not. You know yin and yang?
Yeah.
It's only white.
Ah. So they're kind of like
there's no blackness. There in yin and yang is like the evil, and the other thing is like in this. It's a coin, but it's and there's a yin yang symbol on it, or it's a yin yang thing, but it's only white and there's no blackness.
Yeah, it's just a white coin with a black spot on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one sec.
There is no black spot at all.
Okay. Oh, okay.
The white has been there's the yin yang symbol. It's elegantly put on. It's elegantly done, and there's the no white. There's no blackness. There's only white. It's kind of weird.
Okay. So, yeah. This guy's Manhattan, so he will not count the dross. He'll ensure that payment is made. He'll count it later just to make sure, but he won't count it in his presence because this guy's Manhattan, so he's trustworthy.
He's actually from Bronx.
Oh, that sucks.
Think this way. In Bronx, there is actually, he is not from, think this way. He is, there was a huge declaration.
Okay.
This declaration it was from the title heredity in Epic Gwydion. This guy is like High Lord of Gwydion, like the house's leader. And it was, it was a whole kingdom, not even just Kingdom of Apples, Concordia type of declaration. And this declaration says the county of New Hope will have right of annulment, which is 6 noble-borns will advise the county and the baronies under the county. They sent 6 guys to the old baronies and the county. And these guys now advise the kingdoms.
All right, I think I understand. In which case, if he's an advisor to the Baron, that will buy him enough trust. Just because he trusts the Baron, keeps good company. If he were a completely foreign noble, then maybe, but he is closely affiliated with the Manhattan Baron, so and he's willing to make a contract over it, so there you go. But yeah,
he gets his dross and releases his weapons. If he does, of course. And if you want, we can end the scene there. It's, Broker getting a bunch of things.
Yes, as Broker receives his dross, he'll begin disassembling the weapons and grant the suitcases to the squire, and simply state to Sir Porteous that the weapons are all his, and thank him for his business, and hopefully happy a long and healthy future as advisor to the Manhattan Baroness.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, guys, for watching. See you next time.
See you next time.